talking about Canvas best practice number 1, a simplified navigation. And we believe that it is best to reduce confusion for students and families by hiding unnecessary items on the course navigation menu. Things we would recommend that you have in your course would be home, which you can't remove, announcements, modules. Notice on here we do not have on the recommended list assignments, discussions, pages, quizzes. That's because all of those things can be organized and distributed through modules. If you leave assignments and quizzes and pages available in the course navigation menu, students can click on that at any time and see that whole list of published assignments. And where you want them to see it is in an organized module with all the other Chapter 1 resources, for example. So we believe that content should be pushed out via modules. We'll have more information on that in week 6, but that is why we recommend making modules visible, but not keeping assignments, pages, discussions, quizzes visible. The Zoom link should be visible. If you're going to have a dedicated Zoom for each and every class period. If you're going to use your personal room, then you'll need to have a button on your home page, in which case you should remove Zoom from the course navigation if you want them to use the linked personal room button. We recommend that you have grades showing, especially in grades 6 through 12, so they can have an idea of what's been turned in and what hasn't. Syllabus, which we'll get to in more detail in a little bit more time, is helpful to have for grades 6 through 12. Redirects for curriculum tools and third-party integrations such as Nearpod, Clever, Flipgrid, and Canva for education. You take a look at the examples. Here's some reduced navigation that shows just that and a tool that you might choose to use. Same here, this one has home, it has the textbook login page, TCI login, announcements, and modules. So let's take a look at how you would do these things. So I'm going to go over into my Canvas dashboard and open up a course. And I want to scroll all the way to the bottom to the settings, course settings. Click on that. When your settings page opens, across the top of the page, you'll see the tab for navigation, and that's where you want to go to reduce the course navigation. Click on that, and you'll see the items at the top are items that will be visible to students. And if I don't want something visible, so let's say I'm not planning to use Zoom for each hour. I'm going to use my personal room with a linked button. So I can click and drag that down to the bottom. Or I can click on the 3 dots and click disable or move. Notice that I have Cengage. So Cengage is one, it might be at the bottom, but a lot of people maybe have this for a textbook resource, in which case you need it to be visible there for students for them to access. So I will add that on there, as well as Newsela is another resource that in order for that Canvas Newsela integration to work, it needs to be there. If I want, I can drag to reorder. Let's say I want Syllabus there under grades and the 2 curriculum tools at the bottom. I'll also note that there is a way to have your 3 most recent announcements show at the top of your home page. So perhaps I don't want to have announcements visible, so I'm going to disable that. Then the important thing to do once you have everything the way you want it, you're going to scroll all the way down I am going to stop and take a moment and note the people page is something that can also be disabled, and it's highly recommended if you have cross-listed courses. For privacy reasons, you don't want students to be able to see a list of all the students in your course, in all of your courses and all of the sections of that course. So people can also be disabled. When you're finished and have it as you want it, you can click Save. So I'll also take a quick note here that especially at the elementary level that uses Clever for a lot of single sign-on services, you might at the elementary level want to have Clever enabled. So I'm going to go ahead and now we're going to talk about a redirect tool. So perhaps you have a web page that you always want students to go to, or quite regularly have students visit. So there's a great way to set up a fast link in your course navigation menu for that option. So in order to do that, we're going to move to the next tab over in Settings, and we're going to go to Apps. And it will produce a big long list of apps, and these can all get a little complicated, and all of them work a little bit differently. So we're going to go directly to the installed apps, and you'll see all that have been installed for, and this blue arrow is the redirect tool. If you hover over it, it will say so. So click on that. That's what we want. So next, I'm going to click Add App, and I'm going to rename it to Socrative. Socrative is a website that I have students frequently go to for some quick formative checks. I'm going to paste in this URL. This is the login page for students at Socrative. And generally, if students need to log in any way, a lot of times force open in a new tab is probably the best way to go. Some sites will work unchecking that, and they'll appear right in Canvas, and students can navigate in that website right from within Canvas. But I know I've tested this one out that it works better if it opens in a new tab. I'll select Show in Course Navigation, and I'll click Add App. Keep in mind, if you are noticing, if you set one up that doesn't work as you set it up, you can click on this again and click on View App Considerations to make any edits to the ones that you've installed. So now if I go to the home page, Socrative should be added for me in the course navigation. And it is. It's right down here at the bottom. Notice all of these icons with an eye through it. That means it is not visible to students. If you have enabled announcements and modules, but you don't have any published yet, it will also have an eye through it, even though you've enabled it. So let's take a look at what this looks like in Student View. I'll click Student View, and you can see this simplified course navigation on the left hand of the screen for students. So they can go to sites that I use frequently and curriculum tools that are integrated with Canvas and a single sign-on tool as well. Now let's talk for a minute about what the syllabus is. It is a recommended piece on the course navigation, and it's more of a time-saving tip. A lot of people perhaps make a button on their homepage to get to a page that says all about me or about this course or things like that. But the syllabus is a fairly common term in the 6th through 12th grade course that students will be familiar with that talk about the course expectations. So instead of making a button, you can utilize this syllabus page. And essentially, it's just a placeholder for a page that's all about your course. So this is mine for this course. It's not very extensive, but I will click on Edit just to show you what you can in fact add. So even if your syllabus is made in Google Drive or in Google Docs, or maybe you have a PDF of it, You can still use the rich content editor and add a tool from Google Drive, or perhaps you made your syllabus in Canva for Education, or if you have a PDF, you can always upload it directly to this page. Or you can type it in to this text box, copy and paste it from another place, and then students will be able to use Microsoft Immersive Reader to help them understand the syllabus. The other option that's here in the syllabus page is the Show Course Summary option. So it's up to you whether you want to check it or leave it unchecked. I'm going to check it to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to update the syllabus. And now that I've selected Show Course Summary, all of the course assignments will show up here as they are added. These will show up automatically. So the date that they're added, a link to the assignment, and a due date. This is in a course where there really aren't due dates, so that doesn't show up. I can even jump to today. So any events or assignments that you add to this page or add to this course will show up here in the course syllabus. If you're concerned that students will go here and not go to your modules or whatever the case may be, you may also uncheck the Show Course Summary and not have this visible. But it makes sense to have this syllabus page here because parents and students, if they want to quickly go back and reference some of the finer details of your course, it's right here on the course navigation menu, easy to find, and it saves you time not making a button.